Have you ever felt called to do something you didn't want to do? Something so intimidating or undesirable that you decided to run the other way? If you have, you're not alone. This is the story of Jonah, a man who tried to escape God's plan. And what happened next will blow your mind. Jonah lived in ancient Israel, and one day God spoke to him. "Go to the city of Nineveh," God said. "Tell them to change their wicked ways, or I will destroy them." Nineveh was one of the largest cities of its time, and it was notorious for its corruption and violence. Jonah, however, was not excited about this mission. In fact, he was terrified and resentful. He didn't believe the people of Nineveh deserved God's mercy. And so, instead of listening to God, Jonah fled in the opposite direction. Jonah went to the port city of Joppa and boarded a ship headed for Tarshish, as far away from Nineveh as possible. He paid his fare, got on the boat, and convinced himself that he could outrun God. But as the boat sailed farther into the sea, an intense storm arose, a storm so powerful that the crew feared for their lives. The sailors, who were from different nations and worshipped different gods, began to pray and toss cargo overboard to lighten the load. Meanwhile, Jonah was fast asleep below deck. The captain found him and said, "How can you sleep at a time like this? Get up and pray to your God. Maybe he will save us." The sailors then cast lots to figure out who was responsible for the calamity. When the lot fell to Jonah, they confronted him. "Who are you? What did you do to bring this storm upon us?" Jonah admitted, "I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the dry land. This storm is because of me. Pick me up and throw me into the sea, and it will become calm." The sailors didn't want to harm Jonah, and they tried to row back to land, but the storm only grew worse. Finally, they prayed to Jonah's God for forgiveness, picked Jonah up, and threw him into the sea. Immediately, the storm ceased. Here's where the story gets even more unbelievable. As Jonah sank into the water, God sent a giant fish to swallow him whole. Jonah spent 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the fish. Inside, he prayed to God, offering thanksgiving for saving his life and promising to obey his commands. After 3 days, the fish vomited Jonah onto dry land. Jonah was alive but humbled. God spoke to him again. "Go to Nineveh and deliver the message I gave you." This time, Jonah obeyed. When he arrived in Nineveh, he walked through the city, declaring that in 40 days God would destroy it unless they repented. The people of Nineveh, from the king to the commoners, believed Jonah's message. They fasted, put on sackcloth, and begged for mercy. Even the animals were made to fast. When God saw their sincere repentance, he relented and spared the city. But Jonah wasn't happy. He went outside the city and sulked, angry that God had shown mercy to people he despised. God used a leafy plant to teach Jonah a lesson. He caused the plant to grow and provide shade to Jonah, only to destroy it the next day. When Jonah mourned the loss of the plant, God said, "You care about the plant, but shouldn't I care about Nineveh, a city with more than 120,000 people who don't know right from wrong?" Jonah's story reminds us that God's mercy knows no bounds. It challenges us to obey God even when it's difficult, and to show compassion even to those we might think are undeserving. What would you have done if you were in Jonah's place? Think about it. Don't forget to like, share, and follow for more stories like this. Bible, #Jesus, #God, #Jews, #Christian, #Christianity, #faith.